What's up, Internet? JD here. Coming at you again. I just, if you just saw my last video, it was a Pixar video. This one's top 10 animated Disney movies, not including Pixar movies. Okay, so without further ado, a lot of these are gonna be a little more modern. I don't like the old ones as much. There's some on here, but I don't like the old ones as much. So without further ado, number 15 is Tangled. Tangled was it's funny, it has some charm to it. It's an adaptation of an old story about Rapunzel, and I do think it was a pretty good movie. So it's number 15. 14, A Hunchback of Notre Dame. The visualization, the singing, Esmeralda's freaking gorgeous. A live action version of that movie would probably be pretty amazing. They're starting to link live action versions of all these movies. That one would personally be one I would enjoy seeing. But the movie is amazing. The visualization is amazing. The songs are really good. And that's what makes up, you gotta look at what makes up a good Disney movie. Songs are good. They're relevant to the story. They don't just randomly sing. Characters are funny. Disney is very good at humanizing non-human items. Even though some of them can talk and whatever. For example, Tangled, that little lizard, humanized. The horse, humanized. That is where Disney gets a lot of its charm from. It humanizes non-human animals, and that's what they're usually pretty much the best at. They corner the market in that regard. They are the best at doing that. They really know how to humanize either inanimate objects or non-human characters. I guess this way to put it. So yeah, number 14. Number 13 is Frozen. Now a lot of people are gonna be like, "No, Frozen's the best." Nah, it was good. I liked it. I mean, out of all the Disney, I think there's like 100 Disney movies. It's top 15. Give me a break here. Okay, I do like what I like about Frozen is it went away from the typical story. The typical story is girl falls off the guy after 5 seconds, and they get married, and there's some kind of plot for them to be together forever. And it's basically, for the longest time, they had basically Disney was teaching girls that you needed a man to be happy, and that's not the case. And that's not what you need. Frozen taught that sisterhood. You need each other. Family needs each other. Your sister, all you can need in life is your sister, and you can get through anything together. That's what it taught, and that's what Frozen is about, and that's what I liked about Frozen, is it went away from the norm. Number 12 was Beauty and the Beast. Some of the best songs are from this. You have Angela Lansbury as Mrs. Potts. You had a fantastic story. There's some plot holes in it, which they fixed in the live-action version, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Song's good. The story's good. The villain's actually good. That's another thing I forgot. Villainy makes a great Disney movie as well. So Tangled, you have a good villain there. Frozen, you have a good villain there. No Hunchback of Notre Dame, great villain there. So Beauty and the Beast, the villain's Gaston. He's probably one of the better villains in Disney's movies. So, and even ones that aren't on the list now I think of it have all those characteristics. The Little Mermaid is not on my list, but now I think about it, it has great songs. Something unique about it, like Ariel's hair always floating, was very unique about its design. It had comedy to it, and it had a great villain. Ursula is one of the better villains. So, just want to throw that out there. Those are things that make up what makes a good Disney movie. Good songs, plot, something unique about it, humanizing non-human characters, and a good villain. Okay. If I look over this way a lot, it's because I have this is my tablet. I have a big tablet with a pretty good camera on it. So I film with that, and I have my computer, and if you see it right here, it's my TV. So it's all like one line, and I have another tablet right here. Usually it's right here, but it's charging right now. Okay, so that was number 12. Number 11, The Sword in the Stone. Really, in this movie, there wasn't a villain until the end, and there's not too many songs, but it's comedy gold. There's a lot of things about that are so funny in this movie. I really enjoy this movie. Basically about Arthur finding the sword and becoming king, whatever. But it's got comedy. You got the little owl Archimedes is hilarious. This one there's not a lot of. I don't think there's a lot of singing. There's some singing, but not a lot. And then you have Madame Mim as the villain near the end. It's really just not like main villains. It's kind of like people like getting in the way of the main characters. But the movie itself is very funny. So this one kind of veers away from the norm of what Disney animated movies do, but it's one of the few that can do that very well. Okay? Number 11. That was number 11. Number 10, The Emperor's New Groove. The Emperor's New Groove has great songs, has great visualization. Okay? Kronk is got his hilarious comedic relief is hilarious. Kronk. Then you have David Spade, I think John Goodman, and the guy who plays in Rules of Engagement. I can't think of his name. He's really funny. He also plays in Lemony Snicket's as Lemony Snicket. So it's got a really good cast. And Eartha Kitt plays the villain. I can't remember the villain's name. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here forever and try to think of it. I'll probably think of it midway through this video. But she's a good villain. So everyone, again, it hits every aspect of it. Good visualization. Actually, good cast. That's probably another one. Great cast. Great voice work. Good songs. Good villain. And comedic relief. And giving life to animals. And they literally did that. They literally gave life to an animal, a llama. So yeah, really good movie. Number 10. Number 9. Big Hero 6. Again, one of the few that veer away. Okay, Big Hero 6. About a boy who invents a robot called Betamax, and he ends up using it to fight crime. Pretty awesome. It's very good. Visualization's good. There's not any songs in it. It has a good villain. Okay. And if you ever see it, it's overall a good movie. I think it's got some comedy relief too. And Stan Lee shows up in it. So that'll make any movie good. Number 8 is Wreck-It Ralph. Again, these are breaking the mold because Disney has some new age movies coming out where they're kind of veering towards a different kind of style, with like Wreck-It Ralph and like Big Hero 6. I think Frozen kind of fits into that category as well. Frozen had songs, don't get me wrong, but it's just veering away into a different style of movie. And Wreck-It Ralph was, first off, it's video game based, so it's going to be good. So yeah, the last two, video game based and superhero based, two of my favorite things. And the main character is supposed to be a villain, but he's a hero. And the villain is supposed to be a hero, but he's a villain. If that makes sense. So things a lot are backwards in it, but again, good voice characterization. John C. Reilly. You have the lady from who played Sue. Was it not Sue Sylvester? Whatever her name is from Glee. She played the prince or the coach or whatever. So you have a lot of good voice work, and even I don't like her, but Sarah Silverman played the little girl in the movie. I don't like her, but she did a great job playing the voice. So that was number 8. Number 7 is Mulan. Mulan hits all the same areas. First off, it veers away from the typical Disney movie where you have a girl searching for something or a man, and she needs a man to complete herself. You don't need that in this. Mulan is her own man. She become literally, not trying to be derogative or anything or try to be insensitive or whatever, but she literally becomes her own man. She doesn't need somebody. She became what she needed. She needed someone to fight in place of her father and to be the man of the house. In that regard, she did that herself. Music, good songs in it. Okay, great songs in it. Visualization, it's amazing. Comedy relief, you have Eddie Murphy as Mushu. So again, good voice casting. They gave characterization to the cricket and the horse. They do a good job at that. It's something they're just very good at. I can't explain it. There's just something about those things that get me as a person who watches movies and even animated movies. The Lion King is number 6. Again, they literally humanized animals. They literally humanized the Lion King. A lion, a puma, a meerkat. They humanized all these things. Okay? And in doing so, they really brought to life a great story. Again, great visualization. Very good songs. A really crafty villain. Okay? Scar is a really good villain. One of the better villains Disney has. All these criteria. And if you have these criteria and you have, like, I'll give you an example of one I don't personally like. It doesn't have a great all three of these things. The Aristocats. Crap. Yeah, the Aristocats. It has a good song. Okay. Visualizations, not so much. But it was made a long time ago, a ways back, so not so much. But the villain is not very good. It's a butler. It's some old guy in some it's overalls and stuff. That's literally what it is. It's not really a great villain per se. So that's just an example of what I mean by not a great villain. It's number 5. Where's number 5? Hercules. Hercules. Great voice work. You have Rip Torn as Zeus. You have James Woods as Hades. So good voice work there. Good songs. Good songs are in this movie. You have good villain. Hades is a really good villain, and he unleashes the Titans, and it's good visualization. It's not historically accurate by any means or mythologically accurate, but the story is fun and it has charm. So, this one veers away. It's a goofy movie. It's one of the ones that veer off the track, and actually, this one and like 2 of my last 4 veer off the track. So, goofy movie. I liked it as a kid. It was fun. It was hilarious. It actually is the only one here that really has any original Disney characters, like Goofy. Number 3 is Aladdin. Aladdin is the first movie I ever saw in theaters. At least, maybe I might have saw one before that, but it's the only one I remember. It was funny. Okay. Again, humanization of Abu. Okay. Really like humanize and makes him like a full-blown character. Let's see, you have the carpet. Okay. Robin Williams as a genie. Amazing. Absolutely fantastic work on his part. He did cost some best script because he kind of improvised a little bit more than usual. But songs are amazing. Songs on it are amazing. You have good visualization. You have funny characters. Okay, you have humanization of characters. And then you have a good villain. The villain in it is amazing. It's astounding. So, yeah, it's one of my favorites. So, number 2, The Great Mouse Detective. There's not a lot of musical numbers in this, but The Great Mouse Detective is a very good movie. One of my favorites. One of my favorites of all time. It's basically like Sherlock Holmes as a mouse. If you haven't seen it. And the villain is a great villain. There's not a lot of songs, okay, but the songs they have are very good. There's visualization. There's comedy to it. And overall, it's just a very good movie. Number 1 completely veers off the track of what I said usually makes a good Disney movie. DuckTales. DuckTales is probably my favorite show as a kid, to be honest. But DuckTales is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. The DuckTales movie, the one where we're searching for Ollie treasure. I mean, apparently there's like 2. I didn't know there's a couple more. I think they were just like made for TV movies. Like there's like 3-part episode or something. It happens to be like an hour and a half long. So, but DuckTales is and will always be probably one of my favorites of all time. So, that's my list. Let me know what you think. If you think I got something way wrong or I missed one, I don't think I missed one. Like Little Mermaid was close, and I had to kick that one off. Little Mermaid actually is, I remember as a kid, it was a pretty good one. Peter Pan was close. Pinocchio was pretty good, but it wasn't really my favorite as a kid. Can't think of much more, but if you think of any and I missed some, put them in there and I'll put my 2 cents in on it. But that was it. Make sure you check out my top 10 Pixar movies, and I'm probably going to post both of these back to back. So, see ya.